Hi everybody, Joel from JST Woodcraft. Welcome to my shop. Well, I just got back from the Mid-Ohio pen turning event that my good friend Jason Rose put on. This was a wonderful event. Anybody watching this video, I highly recommend you keep tabs for next year. I can't imagine how much bigger next year is going to be than this year. But I wanted to highlight some of the things that I came home with today that I think will be really neat. One of the things that I do the most is casting label casts. I think most of you know that. Right now I have a single layer that I put my molds in my pressure pot, and it's becoming to the point to where either I need to buy a bunch more pressure pots or I need to do a better job of taking care of the space that's already in there. So while I was there, Fred Wissen from ptownsubby.com had a new product, and it is a multi-level tray assembly for your pressure pot. So I thought we'd do an unboxing and an assembly and let everybody see how this thing looks. So what you get when you order that, when you have this product, is you get a couple discs, you get the support sides, a top, and some screws. Now, a couple things that I thought was really cool about how Fred designed this is, one, on the parts that you mount with screws, he has taken the time to put these threaded inserts in here. Now this is awesome because, you know, this is plastic. It's not designed to take the threading of a screw. So I really feel this is going to add a lot of durability to this and longevity. And really all we're going to do here is we're going to assemble these three pieces around the three sides here like this, and then put the top on, and for all intents and purposes you're done. So let's go through that process and we'll talk more about it. So any of you that are out there doing casting, you're going to find real quick as your customer base grows that you're going to need a more efficient way to do your castings. And I have attempted a couple of times to make wooden ones, and they've come out okay, but you know, you really need the expertise of somebody like Fred, who's been doing this a really long time, to really kind of work through all the trials and tribulations and the things that you need to do to get this to work right. Now, let me pause here. I'm not finding this hole properly. Yeah, I think that's right. Let's see here. There we go. Alright, so we got this one going on. I thought I did. There we go. So these holes, they line up just right. Of course, the other thing you get when you have a thing like this is this plastic is non-slip. So any spillage that you're going to have in the pressure pot from overfilling your molds or whatnot, it's going to pop right off when it's done. So your cleanup should be easy breezy, and you're not going to have to spend a lot of time with, you know, tin foil and plastic paper and whatnot. In order to keep these things level. Now, this is designed for the I believe the 2.5 inch pots, or the Harbor Freight pots, which a lot of us use. So it should fit down in there real nice. And, you know, again, even though you have these metal inserts, there's absolutely no reason to torque the daylights out of these screws. They should hold in there just fine. I guess, you know, hindsight, you might want to throw a little thread lock on there. If I find over time that these come loose for some reason, a little thread Loctite, thread lock, whatever you like to use, ought to lock them in there. I guess one of the nice things here is that if you wanted to, you could easily take this apart and store it in a different fashion. So you can kind of start to see how this comes together. He's got nice rings around the bottom here, so you have something to hold on to. And they just slide in here just like this. And you got 1 level, 2 levels, 3 levels, which is absolutely fantastic. And you're now able to take, of course, your P-Town Subby molds, and they fit in just perfectly. Now, one of the things Fred told me is to make sure that you load these towards the back before you load the front, because they can wiggle loose a little bit. But as you can see, that mold fits in there exactly the way it's supposed to, with a little headroom. And so now I have, with this rack, I put molds here, 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 and here. 1, 2, 3, 4 levels. And then each mold is capable, or each level I should say, is capable of holding quite a bit of different size molds. So there's 3, 1 level. All right. Well, Fred decided to take it one step further and realizes that he's now put the top up here pretty close to the air inlet where the air is blowing in. And we certainly don't want air blowing on top of our molds and either discoloring them or displacing them. So he created this baffle top, which allows us to now hide or put the air hose on top and properly cover. This is a clear piece, so it has this protective film on it, just to keep it safe in transit. And as with anything that sticks to anything, it can be a little tricky at times. We'll get it off here in a second. Now, some of you may have replaced the diverter that's in there. Some of you may have just flat out taken out the diverter and the air blows straight down. Doesn't matter. Regardless of what you've done, this becomes a baffle opportunity within itself. All right, let's do the other side here. See if I can do it a little quicker this time. Sorry, I wanted everybody to really see how this thing unpackages and not go through a whole and not let you see how this whole process works. All right, so we get a little remnants off here, no biggie. All right, and we're just going to line up these holes again. So again, if you find this interesting, think it's something that you could take advantage of, ptownsubby.com. You could Google that. You could Google Fred Wissen, or reach out to me. I'll make sure to put a link down at the bottom of where you can find this. But there's the finished product. This thing is gorgeous. Handles built into the side. That's that. So I hope you found this part interesting. I'm going to get some labels ready and we're going to do some casting. I'm going to put this in the mold, in the pressure pot shortly, and you'll see how the whole process looks.